There is one ability that can completely change the quality of your life. It is not physical strength. It is not money. It is not intelligence. It is not the ability to defeat another person. It is the ability to remain calm when someone else is trying to disturb you. Think about this. How much of your energy has been wasted because of something another person said? How many hours have you lost replaying a conversation? How many nights have you stayed awake thinking, why did they say that? Why did they treat me like that? What should I have said? What will I say next time? A person speaks for 10 seconds, and you carry those 10 seconds inside your mind for 10 hours. Who really has control? Them or you? Most people think anger is created by the outside world. They say, he made me angry, she ruined my mood, they disrespected me, he annoyed me, she knows exactly how to bother me. But look carefully, between what happens and how you respond, there is a space. Inside that space lives your freedom. The person may control their words, but they do not automatically control your mind. They may knock on the door. You decide whether you invite them inside. Today, understand this deeply. Your peace should not depend on everyone around you behaving correctly, because they will not. People will misunderstand you. People will disagree with you. People will criticize you. Some will insult you. Some will disappoint you. Some will lie about you. Thames breath is real. Some will judge you without knowing your story. And some people may intentionally try to provoke you. If your peace depends on all these people changing, then you will never have peace. The disciplined person understands something different. He says, I cannot control the behavior of the world, but I can train the behavior of my own mind. This is where true strength begins, not when the world becomes quiet, but when you become quiet inside the noise. The first lesson: anger is a fire you hold. Imagine someone insults you. They say something disrespectful. Immediately your body reacts. Your heart beats faster. Your jaw tightens. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your mind begins producing responses. You want to attack. You want to prove something. You want to win. You want them to feel what you feel. This is anger, but anger is strange. You believe it is aimed at another person. Yet where does the fire actually burn? Inside you. Your body carries it. Your mind carries it. Your sleep carries it. Your nervous system carries it. The person who insulted you may already be asleep, but you are still awake, thinking, replaying, burning. This is why anger is expensive. It charges your mind for another person's behavior. You must ask yourself, why should another person's lack of discipline become a punishment for my own nervous system? If someone throws mud at you, you do not need to pick it up and rub it into your own clothes. Yet emotionally, people do this every day. Someone throws an insult, they pick it up, carry it, study it, repeat it, share it, replay it, then wonder why they cannot find peace. Learn to put the mud down. Not everything thrown at you belongs to you. The second lesson: stop taking everything personally. One of the greatest causes of anger is the belief that everything is about you. Someone does not reply quickly. You think, they are ignoring me. Someone is quiet. You think, they are angry with me. Someone criticizes your work. You think, they don't respect me. Someone chooses another person. You think, I am not good enough. But often, people are responding from their own internal world, their fears, their stress, their childhood, their insecurity, their exhaustion, their expectations, their jealousy, their pain, their own unfinished battles. You are sometimes only standing near the explosion. This does not mean you accept bad behavior. It means you stop carrying every person's behavior as a statement about your worth. Imagine someone walking through the street, carrying a cup filled to the top with dirty water. You accidentally bump into them. What spills out? Dirty water. Why? Because that is what was already inside the cup. Human beings are similar. When life shakes them, whatever they have been carrying tends to spill out. Some people spill patience, some spill kindness, some spill fear, some spill anger, some spill bitterness, some spill insecurity. When a person attacks you unnecessarily, you are often seeing what is inside them. Do not immediately make it your identity. If someone calls you foolish, you do not become foolish. If someone calls you selfish, you do not automatically become selfish. If someone says you will fail, your future does not suddenly change. Words have power only when your mind gives them permission to become truth. Learn to observe before absorbing. This single skill will save you enormous suffering. The third lesson: you do not have to attend every argument. Someone wants to fight, they send an angry message, they raise their voice, they accuse you, they challenge you. Immediately, your ego says, respond, defend yourself, show them. Don't let them disrespect you. But ask yourself, do you truly need to participate? Not every battle deserves your presence. There are arguments you can win and still lose your peace. There are people you can prove wrong and still waste your evening. There are conversations where the price for winning is exhaustion. A disciplined person understands the value of selective engagement. You do not answer every insult. You do not correct every misunderstanding. You do not explain yourself to everyone. You do not defend your reputation in every room. Sometimes silence is not weakness. Sometimes silence is efficiency. Imagine two people standing beside a river. One person throws stones into the water all day. The other person sits quietly and watches the current. At the end of the day, which person has more peace? The river was never asking to be defended. Your mind is the river. Let some stones sink. Do not chase every disturbance. The fourth lesson: pause before you react. There is great power in a pause. Most regret comes from reactions that happened too quickly. A message arrives, you respond immediately. Someone criticizes you, you attack immediately. Someone disappoints you, you make a decision immediately. Then later, when the emotion settles, you think, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have sent that. I should have waited. This is why discipline begins with creating space between emotion and action. When anger rises, do not immediately speak. Breathe. If necessary, leave the room. Take 10 minutes. Take 1 hour. Take one night. You are allowed to respond later. Remember this: urgency is often created by emotion. Wisdom rarely needs to shout. The angry mind wants immediate action. The clear mind can wait. Imagine boiling water. If you look into it, the surface is constantly moving. You cannot see your reflection clearly. But turn off the heat, wait. The water becomes still. Now you can see. Your mind works the same way. When emotion is boiling, your perception becomes distorted. You exaggerate. You assume. You misunderstand. You say permanent things because of temporary feelings. So wait until the water becomes still, then decide. The fifth lesson: understand your triggers. If someone can easily make you angry, they have discovered something inside you that still needs attention. Ask yourself, why did that particular comment affect me? Why did that person's opinion matter so much? Why does rejection disturb me? Why does criticism feel unbearable? Why do I need everyone to agree with me? Why do I need everyone to respect me? Why do I become defensive when someone questions me? Sometimes anger is only the surface emotion. Underneath anger may be fear, shame, insecurity, sadness, embarrassment, helplessness. Old wounds, for example. Someone criticizes your intelligence. You become furious. Maybe you are not angry because of the comment itself. Maybe some part of you has always feared that you are not intelligent enough. The comment touched an old wound. Another person could hear the same sentence and laugh. Why? Because there was no wound there, this is important. Your triggers are teachers. They reveal where your inner work still remains. Instead of always asking, why are people making me angry? Ask, what is this anger teaching me about myself? This changes everything. Now the person who provoked you becomes an accidental teacher. They have shown you where you are still vulnerable. Use the information, do the work, become stronger. The sixth lesson. Stop expecting people to be who you want them to be. Much anger comes from expectation. You expect someone to behave differently. You expect gratitude. You expect loyalty. You expect maturity. You expect honesty. You expect consideration. And when reality does not match expectation, you suffer. You say, they should know better. They should have called. They should have understood. They should have apologized. They should not behave like this. Maybe they should, but they did not. Reality does not care about your expectations. Peace begins when you stop arguing with what has already happened. This does not mean approving of everything. It means accepting reality before deciding what to do about it. Suppose it begins raining. You can stand outside saying, it should not be raining. This is unfair. I planned something else. But the rain continues. A wise person sees the rain and responds accordingly. Take an umbrella. Chant the plan, wait. Move. People are similar. See them as they are, not as you wish they were. When someone repeatedly shows you selfishness, stop expecting sudden generosity. When someone repeatedly lies, stop expecting honesty without evidence of change. When someone repeatedly ignores your boundaries, stop pretending the next conversation will magically transform them. Acceptance gives you clarity. Clarity gives you choice. Expectation without evidence gives you frustration. The seventh lesson. Your ego loathes to be offended. Your ego has many hidden demands. Respect me. Agree with me. Notice me. Choose me. Praise me. Understand me. Do not criticize me. Do not ignore me. Do not embarrass me. When the world refuses these demands, the ego becomes angry. Observe this. Someone interrupts you. Why does it bother you? Maybe because the ego says, my words are important. Someone does not invite you. The ego says, I should have been included. Someone disagrees with your opinion. The ego says, they think I am wrong. Someone succeeds faster than you. The ego says, that should have been me. The ego turns life into a constant competition between your expectations and reality, but you do not have to obey it. You can notice the ego without becoming the ego. When you feel offended, ask, is my dignity truly under threat? Or is my ego simply uncomfortable? These are not always the same thing. A strong person can handle discomfort. They do not need to defend their importance every 5 minutes. The tree with deep roots does not argue with the wind, it remains. The eighth lesson. Do not try to control other people's opinions. You can spend your entire life trying to manage how people see you and still fail. Some people will like you, some will dislike you, some will misunderstand you, some will admire you, some will judge you, some will criticize you for exactly the same qualities another person respects. You cannot control perception. Suppose 10 people watch you make the same decision. One calls you brave, one calls you foolish, one calls you selfish, one calls you independent. One says nothing. Which one are you? None of those opinions alone define you. They are interpretations. If you build your peace upon other people's interpretation, your peace will constantly change. Instead, build your peace around principles. Ask, was I honest? Was I fair? Was I respectful? Did I act according to my values? If yes, continue. You do not need unanimous approval. The moment you stop begging people to understand you, something remarkable happens. You become lighter. The ninth lesson. Sometimes walking away is the response. Many people think strength means confrontation, but sometimes strength means distance. If someone continually disrespects you, you do not always need another argument. You may need less access, less conversation, less availability, less emotional investment. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your mind. Remember, forgiveness does not require closeness. Understanding does not require tolerance. Compassion does not require continued exposure. You can understand why someone behaves badly and still decide, I do not want this behavior near me. That is not hatred, that is discernment. A garden does not hate weeds. The gardener simply removes what prevents the garden from growing. Protect your environment with the same wisdom. The 10th lesson. Control your breath. Control your state. When anger rises, the body changes before the mind becomes fully aware. Breathing gets faster. Muscles tighten. Heart rate rises. Attention narrows. Your nervous system prepares for conflict. This is why breathing matters. When you slow the breath intentionally, you send a different message to your body. Inhale slowly. Pause. Exhale longer than you inhaled. Again, slowly. Do not underestimate something because it appears simple. The most powerful practices are often simple. A sword is simple. A breath is simple. A step is simple. But mastery comes from repetition. The next time someone provokes you, breathe before speaking. Not dramatically, not to prove you are spiritual. Just breathe. Create space. Let the body calm down. Then speak. You may discover that half of what you wanted to say no longer needs to be said. The 11th lesson. Do not replay the event. Sometimes the argument ended hours ago, but your mind keeps recreating it. You are showering. You replay it. Driving. Replay it. Eating. Replay it. Trying to sleep. Replay it again. Now understand something. The person is no longer hurting you. Your memory is, the event happened once. But your mind makes it happen 50 times. This is how suffering multiplies. You must learn when to stop feeding a thought. When you notice yourself replaying the same event, say, this has already happened. Then return to the present moment. Feel your breath. Look at what is around you. Move your body. Do something useful. The mind will return to the story. Bring it back again. This is training. No different from physical training. A muscle grows because you repeatedly use it. Attention grows the same way. Every time you bring your attention back, you are strengthening control over your mind. The 12th lesson, do not. Rehearse. Revenge. Anger often creates imaginary conversations. You imagine seeing the person again. You imagine what you will say. You imagine embarrassing them. You imagine proving them wrong. You imagine them regretting everything. This feels satisfying for a moment. But, emotionally, you are still tied to them. Revenge is another form of attachment. They continue living in your head. Freedom looks different. Freedom says, I no longer need you to understand what you did. I no longer need you to regret losing me. I no longer need you to suffer. I simply no longer give this situation my energy. That is freedom. The opposite of love is not always hate. Sometimes the opposite of attachment is indifference, not coldness, peaceful detachment. The 13th lesson. Do not confuse calmness with weakness. Some people believe that if they do not become angry, they will be taken advantage of. This is false. You can be calm and firm. You can say no. Calmly, you can say that is unacceptable. Calmly, you can walk away calmly. You can end a relationship. Calmly, you can defend yourself. Calmly, anger is not required for strength. A surgeon does not perform better because his hands are shaking. A pilot does not become more skilled by panicking. A warrior does not gain accuracy by losing control. Calmness improves your ability to act. The goal is not passivity. The goal is control. You should be able to choose your response instead of having your emotional state choose it for you. The 14th lesson. People can only provoke what you have not mastered. Imagine someone insults your clothing. If you truly do not care, there is no reaction. They insult your car, no reaction. Then they touch something you are deeply insecure about. Suddenly anger appears. What changed? Not the person. They simply discovered the correct button. Everyone has buttons. The work is not forcing the world to stop pressing them. The work is removing the buttons. How? By knowing yourself, accepting yourself, working on weaknesses, healing old wounds, developing confidence, becoming secure enough that external comments no longer shake your identity. This is self-mastery, not making the world harmless, making yourself less easily controlled by it. The 15th lesson. Practice the art of observing. When emotion appears, instead of saying, I am angry, try saying, anger is arising. Notice the difference. I am angry makes anger your identity. Anger is arising makes anger an experience you are observing. You are not the anger, you are the awareness noticing the anger. A cloud appears in the sky. The sky does not become the cloud comes. The cloud changes, the cloud leaves. Emotions are similar. They arise, they peak, they pass. But when you identify completely with the emotion, you act as if it will remain forever. It will not. Learn to watch. My chest is tight. My breathing is faster. My thoughts are becoming aggressive. I want to respond. Interesting. Observe. Do not judge. Do not suppress. Simply watch. When you watch an emotion carefully, you create distance. Distance creates choice. Choice creates freedom. The 16th lesson. Never hand someone the remote control to your mood. Imagine your mood is a television. Someone insults you, channel changes. Someone praises you, channel changes. Someone ignores you, channel changes. Someone messages you, channel changes. Someone does not message you, channel changes again. Who is holding the remote? Everyone except you. This is how many people live. Their internal state depends entirely on external events. One compliment makes them happy. One criticism destroys the entire day. This is emotional dependence. Take the remote back. Your emotional state should not be so cheap that anyone can buy it with one sentence. Your peace should be expensive. Very expensive. It should require much more than another person's opinion to disturb it. The 17th lesson. Choose what deserves your energy. You have limited energy every day. Limited attention, limited time, limited emotional capacity. Where will you invest it? Into your health, your family, your dreams, your discipline, your purpose, or into an argument with someone who does not matter? Imagine carrying 100 coins of attention every morning. Every worry costs coins. Every argument costs coins. Every replayed insult costs coins. Every comparison costs coins. Every imagined revenge costs coins. By noon, some people are emotionally bankrupt. Then they say, I don't have energy to exercise. I don't have energy to work on my dreams. Of course not. They spent everything on things they cannot control. Become careful with your emotional currency. Before reacting, ask, is this worth my energy? Often the answer is no. The 18th lesson, let people be wrong about you. This is difficult. Someone tells a false story about you. You immediately want to correct them. Someone misunderstands your intentions. You want to explain. Someone thinks you are selfish. You want to prove otherwise. But sometimes the greatest freedom comes from allowing people to hold the wrong opinion. You know your intentions. You know your actions. You know your character. You do not need to enter every courtroom where someone has placed you on trial. There are people who have already decided what they want to believe. No explanation will change them. You could spend hours presenting evidence, They will simply reinterpret the evidence. So leave them with their story. Their story is not your identity. The truth does not panic because someone believes a lie. The 19th lesson. Stop trying to win every conversation. The ego wants victory, but wisdom wants resolution. There is a difference. If your goal is to win, you stop listening. You wait for your turn to speak. You collect evidence. You attack weaknesses. You become more interested in proving yourself right than understanding the situation. But what happens after you win? The relationship may still be damaged. Your mind may still be disturbed. You may still feel empty. So before entering conflict, ask, what outcome do I actually want? Peace? Understanding? A solution? A boundary? Distance? Once you know the desired outcome, choose behavior that supports it. Sometimes the best response is conversation, sometimes silence, sometimes compromise, sometimes departure. Wisdom chooses based on outcome, not ego. The 20th lesson. Your inner peace is a daily practice. You cannot expect yourself to remain calm under pressure if you never train calmness when life is easy. Inner peace is practiced daily. Sit in silence, even 10 minutes. Walk without your phone. Notice your breath. Eat slowly. Listen fully when someone speaks. Exercise, sleep properly. Reduce unnecessary stimulation. Spend time in nature. Write something meaningful. Protect the first minutes of your morning. Protect the last minutes of your night. Why? Because a constantly overstimulated mind becomes easily irritated. When the mind is already full, one small inconvenience causes overflow. Someone drives slowly, anger. Internet becomes slow, anger. Someone interrupts, anger. Why? Because the cup was already full. Create space inside yourself. A spacious mind can absorb disturbance without overflowing. When someone insults you, let us make this practical. Suppose someone insults you directly. What should you do? First, do not react immediately. Notice your body breathe. Second, ask whether the comment deserves a response. If no, ignore it. If yes, respond to the behavior rather than attacking the person. You can say, I don't accept being spoken to like that. Simple, clear, no drama, no 10-minute speech. Then decide your next action. If the behavior continues, leave. Remember, boundaries without consequences are only requests. Calmness does not mean endless tolerance. When someone criticizes you, not every criticism is an attack. This is where ego often creates unnecessary anger. Ask, is there truth inside what they are saying? Maybe 10%. Take the 10%, leave the rest. A wise person can learn even from someone they dislike. Suppose an enemy tells you there is mud on your face. You do not keep the mud because you dislike the messenger. You check the mirror. If there is mud, clean it. If there is none, continue walking. This is maturity. When someone notes you, you message them, no reply. Your mind begins creating stories. They don't respect me. They don't care. They are doing this intentionally. Maybe not, but until you know, do not torture yourself with assumptions. Give people space. And if someone's pattern consistently shows disinterest, accept the information. Do not chase. Do not beg. Do not become angry. Adjust your investment, match reality. This protects dignity. When someone betrays you, betrayal creates a different kind of anger. It hurts because trust was involved. You expected safety from someone. Instead, they created pain. Here, anger may be natural. Do not shame yourself for feeling it. But remember, feeling anger is different from becoming anger. Process it. Talk to someone trustworthy. Reflect. Create distance. Learn. But do not allow betrayal to turn you into the type of person who betrayed you. Do not let someone's dishonesty destroy your ability to live honestly. Do not let someone's cruelty train you to become cruel. Your character should not belong to the person who hurt you. When someone leaves you, rejection can create anger because ego interprets departure as humiliation. How could they leave me after everything I did? But human beings have freedom. You cannot force someone to stay. You cannot force love. You cannot force loyalty. You cannot force connection. And anything you must force is already losing its value. Let people leave. It may hurt, but holding someone who does not want to stay creates greater suffering. The open hand is stronger than the clenched fist. The clenched fist becomes tired. The open hand remains free. When life itself makes you angry, sometimes there is no person to blame. Plans fail. Money disappears. Opportunities vanish. Health changes. Flights get cancelled. Traffic stops. Technology breaks. Life refuses your schedule. You can become angry at reality, but reality will not apologize. You must learn flexibility. The bamboo survives storms because it bends. The rigid branch breaks. Strength without flexibility becomes weakness. When plans change, ask, what can I do now? Not, why is this happening to me? The first question produces action. The second often produces suffering. The power of saying, it doesn't matter. Not everything deserves emotional importance. Someone did not like your post. It doesn't matter. Someone made a sarcastic comment. It doesn't matter. Someone thinks your dream is stupid. It doesn't matter. Someone did not invite you. It doesn't matter. Someone looked at you strangely. It doesn't matter. Imagine how peaceful life becomes when you stop turning small events into major emotional experiences. Many problems remain alive only because you keep feeding them attention. Starve unnecessary problems. They disappear. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. This is important. Some people here do not get bothered and think they must become cold. No, the goal is not numbness. You should still care. Love deeply, feel deeply, connect deeply, but do not cling. You can care without controlling. You can love without losing yourself. You can help without becoming responsible for everyone's emotions. You can listen without absorbing everything. Detachment means your center remains your own. You participate in life without allowing every wave to drag you into the ocean. Become like the mountain. Imagine a mountain during a storm. Rain strikes it. Wind moves around it. Snow covers it. Clouds hide it. Thunder shakes the sky. But the mountain remains. The weather changes. The mountain remains. Become like this. Praise arrives. Remain. Criticism arrives. Remain. Success arrives. Remain. Failure arrives. Remain. People arrive. Remain. People leave. Remain. Your foundation cannot depend on the weather. Build something deeper. Values, discipline, self-respect, awareness, purpose. These are your roots. Ask yourself these questions. When anger rises, when someone bothers you, ask, will this matter in 1 year? Is this worth losing my peace? Am I reacting to reality or to my interpretation? What exactly am I trying to defend? Does this person deserve this much of my attention? Would silence be more powerful? Can I respond tomorrow? What is the wisest action available to me? These questions interrupt automatic behavior. Questions direct attention. And where attention goes, emotion often follows. The 3-second rule. When irritation appears, give yourself 3 seconds. 1. Breathe. 2. Observe. 3. Choose. Sometimes 3 seconds can prevent 3 years of regret. A sentence spoken in anger can end a friendship. A message sent impulsively can damage a career. A moment of rage can change a family forever. Do not underestimate the pause. Master your face. This may sound simple, but it is powerful. When someone attempts to provoke you, do not immediately show them they succeeded. Raise your face. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Lower your shoulders. Breathe. Speak slowly. Your body influences your mind. If your body becomes chaotic, your mind follows. If your body remains controlled, it becomes easier for your mind to remain controlled. The person expecting an explosion will often become confused by calmness. You do not need to perform calmness for them. You practice it for yourself. If master your voice. Angry people often increase volume. The disciplined person can decrease it. Speak slower. Use fewer words. Do not repeat yourself 10 times. Say what needs to be said, then stop. There is strength in concise language. I disagree. No, that does not work for me. I will not continue this conversation while you are shouting. I understand your position. I need time before responding. Simple, calm, clear. Master your attention. Your attention is one of your most valuable possessions. Where attention goes, life goes. If you spend 4 hours thinking about a person you dislike, you have given them 4 hours of your life. They did not steal it. You donated it. Stop donating your life to people who do not deserve it. Bring attention back to your path, your work, your body, your family, your learning, your goals, your inner development. Energy focused on revenge produces more revenge. Energy focused on growth produces a stronger life. Turn anger into indignation instead of asking, how can I stop feeling anger? Ask, what is the anger telling me? Maybe your boundary was crossed. Maybe you are exhausted. Maybe you have been tolerating too much. Maybe you need distance. Maybe you are insecure. Maybe you need to speak up. Maybe you need to let go. Anger becomes dangerous when it becomes your master, but when observed carefully, it can become information. Use it, then release it. A messenger should deliver the message and leave. Do not let the messenger move into your house. Do not build an identity around being wronged. Sometimes something painful happens and years later, a person still introduces themselves emotionally through the event. My ex betrayed me. My friend abandoned me. My boss treated me unfairly. My family never supported me. All of this may be true, but how long will the event own your identity? You are more than what happened to you. There comes a point when healing requires a new story, not denying the past, but refusing to live inside it permanently. Say yes, that happened, and I continued. That final sentence is powerful, and I continued. You do not need an apology to heal. Many people remain angry because they are waiting for recognition, waiting for regret, waiting for someone to say, you were right. I hurt you. I am sorry. Maybe that day comes. Maybe it never does. Do you want your peace to depend on someone else's level of awareness? No. You can heal without their apology. You can close a door they refuse to close. You can forgive without receiving an explanation. Closure is sometimes a decision you make alone. Do not let your kindness become self-betrayal. Calmness does not mean tolerating everything. Forgiveness does not mean returning to harmful situations. Compassion does not mean giving endless opportunities. You must understand this. The peaceful person can still have boundaries. A temple has doors. A garden has fences. A home has locks. Protection and peace can coexist. If someone repeatedly violates your peace, you are allowed to change their level of access. This is not anger. It is wisdom. The final stage. Become unbothered without becoming heartless. The goal is not to become a person who feels nothing. The goal is to become a person who feels without being controlled. You may still feel anger, but anger does not choose your words. You may feel disappointment, but disappointment does not destroy your entire day. You may feel hurt, but hurt does not decide your future. You may feel fear, but fear does not control your direction. This is mastery. Emotions become visitors, not rulers. They enter. You listen, then they leave. Final message. One day, someone will try to provoke you. They will say exactly the thing they know used to upset you, and they will wait. They will expect the old reaction, the raised voice, the angry message, the explanation, the argument. But something will be different. You will feel the first wave of emotion, and then you will breathe. You will observe. You will remember your training. You will realize, I do not need to participate. And perhaps you will smile. Perhaps you will say nothing. Perhaps you will walk away. And in that moment, you will understand something profound. The victory was never defeating them. The victory was no longer being controlled by them. That is freedom. When another person's anger cannot become your anger, when another person's opinion cannot determine your worth, when another person's disrespect cannot destroy your dignity, when another person's chaos cannot become your chaos, you become free. Remember this. Anyone can remain peaceful in an empty room. The real test of peace is maintaining it in the presence of difficult people. Anyone can be disciplined when nothing challenges them. The real test of discipline is choosing your response when your emotions demand reaction. Anyone can speak about inner peace. The practice begins when someone insults you, when someone misunderstands you, when someone rejects you, when someone disappoints you, when someone tries to pull you out of your center. That is your training. Every difficult person becomes part of your training. Every insult becomes part of your training. Every delay, every criticism, every rejection, every inconvenience. Each one asks the same question. Who controls your mind? Answer carefully. Not with words, with your behavior. Let the world be noisy. You remain still. Let people misunderstand. You remain clear. Let others become angry. You remain controlled. Let people leave. You remain whole. Let people criticize. You remain focused. Let the storm come. Become the mountain. You do not need to defeat every person who challenges you. You do not need to answer every accusation. You do not need to explain yourself to every person. You do not need to correct every lie. You do not need everyone to like you. You do not need everyone to understand you. You need only one thing: control over yourself, because the person who controls himself cannot easily be controlled by anyone else. So the next time anger rises, remember: pause, breathe, observe, choose, protect your attention, protect your energy, protect your peace. Not because the world deserves your silence, but because you deserve your freedom. Your peace is yours. Your mind is yours. Your energy is yours. Your life is yours. Stop handing them away. Become calm. Become disciplined. Become difficult to provoke. Become impossible to control through anger. And eventually, you will reach a place where people can say what they want, think what they want, do what they want. And inside you, there is stillness. Not because nothing happened, but because you finally learned the difference between what happens around you and what you allow to happen within you. That is strength. That is discipline. That is freedom. And that is how you become unbothered.